How do you apologize at work without making people question your competency? And this is where politics come into place because depending on who you're apologizing to, if it's like a cool coworker, it could be my bad and you move on. But if it's someone who plays a lot of office politics or you're not cool with, then the worry becomes, oh, will this end up in my performance review later? Is it a casual I'm sorry? Is it a full responsibility? But then is that too incriminating? Will that bite you in the ass later? Or should you explain, or will that sound defensive? So all these things are running through your mind as you're editing and wondering, what do I say? Essentially, you're not just apologizing for the mistake, you're also defending your right to remain employed, kind of. Because corporate has its own language, especially when something goes wrong. I forgot becomes it fell off my radar. Nobody decided becomes we were seeking alignment. I don't know becomes let me circle back, right? And then I made the wrong call becomes things were mishandled. And the question is mishandled by whom? No one knows. Confusion becomes the main character in the whole saga. The language becomes passive when responsibility becomes expensive. And I was noticing which mistakes people were comfortable actually naming, especially, and when I say naming, I mean getting in writing. So if maybe they put a wrong tag on something, then it'll be my bad, fixed it. Period. Very easy, very quick. If someone missed a message, it'll be sorry for the delay. If you missed a deadline or you have the wrong deadline, then it becomes I'm sorry, I already corrected it, right? So the action is already taken, everyone is made whole. And these feel safe because they're not about your judgment or your thinking. They're more about, okay, I did a human error. Anyone can do this no matter where you are. So people directly apologize when the mistake is cheap. That's what I noticed. My favorite corporate confession is I dropped the ball. It's like, I'm so sorry. I missed this. I've been underwater preparing for the very important client. So they admitted failure, but they also showed you how busy and valuable they are. If people still see that something still needs to be done, then it becomes how do you fix this immediately? It's I've scheduled it, I've updated it, I contacted them. Like you have taken action to remedy whatever the case is. So what I'm learning is it's an apology that comes with like a tiny resume stapled to the back. Watch what happens when the mistake involves judgment. That's when things change, okay? Because at that point, there's several buckets of languages. I made the wrong call, that's one. But then that turns into things could have gone differently. Or I misunderstood the situation becomes there was a misunderstanding. Or I hurt you becomes I'm sorry you were upset. What you're asking out loud is who made the call, who misunderstood, who created the harm, and why did the human disappear from the sentence, right? That's what you're asking yourself as you're reading these apologies, and you have to fill in the blanks. The bigger the professional risk, the harder it becomes to find a human being inside that apology. And it's not impossible. It usually happens through phone conversations, through Zooms, etc. But in writing, it takes a lot for someone to put it in writing. So I know the difference because someone apologized to me a while back and they were in leadership and I was at this workplace event. My name was mispronounced. The award I was given, it was one of those like funny tongue-in-cheek awards, but it was just kind of like really strange. And like everyone was just kind of like, wait, what does this mean? And some people interpreted it positively, some people were just like, wait, what? But either way, it was just kind of like I was super new at the company. I was just like really confused. I'm like, why would you give me this? And then also you said my name wrong. So I was also like, my face was like, wait, are you talking about me? So all around an upsetting moment. And later that evening, my manager did message me, and she specifically named the the things that upset me, the mispronounced name, the nature of the award. She acknowledged that it was handled poorly. She mentioned that I deserved better, offered to talk when I was ready to talk about it, and did not even try to explain everyone's intentions.
What stayed with me was what I did not have to do. I didn't have to convince her that it was hurtful. I didn't have to reassure her that she was still a good person. And I didn't have to carry her guilt on top of my embarrassment. She took responsibility for her part, which meant I left carrying less.
Funny enough, I did notice who was willing to apologize for bad judgment at work. And I'll give you a second to guess it. If you said the robots, if you said AI, you were correct. AI agents now appear inside the workplace conversation. They are everywhere. And because of that, people are correcting AI, people are pushing back on AI. It'll quickly say, "Oh my gosh, you're so right. You've told me 10 times that I shouldn't say this, but I'm saying it." Or I was wrong in doing this or not doing that. There's no embarrassment. There's no promotion that they're getting or not getting for apologizing. They don't really have a reputational risk, or there's no performance review that is attached to them. If it keeps doing something wrong, all we're going to do is just review its prompt or whatever systems agents are connected to it and change it. So when AI fails, we update the system. However, when humans fail, when we fail, we fear becoming the thing that gets rebooted. So it becomes really hard to apologize, which isn't great. And I just want to say maybe we've defined competence too narrowly. Competence cannot mean never making a bad call. That's a really hard thing to do. Nobody can meet that standard. So poor judgment is an action, not an identity, right? Accountability should not and does not require self-destruction.
As AI becomes more common at work, human judgment becomes more, not less important. But judgment isn't valuable because it's always right. It is valuable because we can examine it, explain what shaped it, and revise when it fails. The most credible person isn't always right. They can show you how their judgment changed.
What does a complete apology actually need? So let's say you start with, I made this decision without consulting you, whatever that might be. Funny enough, the other day, someone messaged me like, hey, I just tried to put a few meetings on your calendar and then automatically declined.
A complete apology would have sounded something like, I scheduled those meetings without consulting you. That was my decision. I've removed them. I'll send you the priorities, and if you can send me times that work, that'd be amazing. Going forward, I'll confirm your availability before placing anything on your calendar.
If you're breaking this down, it's the mouth names the thing, the spine owns, get a spine, get a backbone, you own what you did. Then your hands do the repair, and then your feet change the pattern. As you're walking forward, you change the pattern. If the feet never move differently, if they never walk in a different direction, the apology was only a performance. And that, especially if you're the one that's apologizing, that just decreases trust. And the less trust you have, the less people want to work with you. And that's never great. So we don't need to apologize exactly like the AI robots who are just like, yep, I messed up. I'm the worst. Don't do that either, because that does definitely does reduce your credibility. But we can work towards like how the machine is able to diagnose errors clearly, right? We can feel remorse in a way that the machine doesn't. And we understand relational costs. And if we are able to lean into that and have human care, then that really and truly does make a huge difference. And because I talk a lot about future of work and workforce development, as AI changed the landscape of how we work, those connections, that apology, that human care is what moves people forward. Because an apology is not measured by how bad you felt while giving it. It's measured by what the harmed person no longer has to carry and what they never have to carry from you again. All right, I'm April. I talk about the future of work and how to be humans in this space. I'll see you tomorrow.